My name is Sighard Rohr. Tis the day of this recording 100 years ago, Germany declared war to Russia. It was the beginning of World War I. Shortly after that came World War II. World War III hasn't been declared yet, but in my view it seems that that is the present global war against terrorism. From today onward, I like to introduce a new perception, a new way of looking at our human evolution. I like to present a new vision of humanity, which is actually not that new, for very few humans like Moses, Jesus, Mohammed or Buddha have expressed it already. But strangely enough, their visions became institutionalized and made to rule-written dogmas or commandments. Moses, for example, didn't get a tablet from God, He was just running behind a bush, watching all others, seeing how stupid they were behaving, killing each other, stealing and raping the woman from another, lying and tricking, whatever. Moses was thinking to himself that this has to stop. We want to get out of slavery, but these guys obviously don't know how to behave in freedom. So Moses thought to have some rules. He made a tablet and wrote 10 commandments on it. Well, how much can you write on a small tablet? So he made just 10 rules and then ran over to his people and told them, listen, I just made this omnipresent God behind the bush over there, and he told me to tell you da-da-da-da, and there we go. These humans like Moses became the Son of God, Messiahs, or enlightened masters. We might call them now conscious human beings, whatever. But because they were growing up in different cultures and spoke different languages, their followers now think that only their master spoke the truth, while others are just disbelievers or even uneducated animals. Today, even disbelievers are called terrorists. The prevailing idea of today seems to be, if you don't think like me, you must be my enemy. I've met people that have come to become followers of someone simply because they believed him to be the master of masters. That tells me that they haven't understood anything. First of all, why do I think that we do need a new vision? In my view, the human endeavor to create a human civilization has not come to fruition yet. I haven't been everywhere on this globe, but what I've seen so far is anything else but humane. I have met many peace-loving, beautiful humans, but I have not seen a human civilization. At the present moment, there are many wars going on everywhere on this globe, not just in Ukraine or in the Gaza Strip. And looking back through our human history books, it seems that we never stopped to be at war with each other for thousands of years. This basic question behind all of this is, how can the human race relate to one another in a humane, friendly way? Or, as orator Marcus Tullius Cicero once put it, what makes a human a human? What is humanity? As the human mind can only think in contrarieties, we have to make a distinction between humanity and the human race. Humanity is represented by conscious human beings, and the human race is represented by instinctual human mammals. In short, humanity and the animal kingdom are different to each other like peace and war, or like consciousness and instincts. As long as political leaders are uttering to the world that either you are with me or against me, like not long ago W. Bush did put it, as long as I'm made to believe that I can call you a terrorist and thus have the right to kill you first. This attitude is very much in fashion worldwide these days. But it is not just a political, economic or religious relationship that it is in conflict with each other. It's not just the culture clash. It's not just about the widening gap between rich and poor. It's not just about corruption and greed. The relationship we have to life itself, to nature, the way we destroy our atmosphere, poison the waters and pollute the air, the deforestation, overpopulation, and genetically meddling with our food, arrogantly thinking that we have all under control, All this looks rather like a suicide mission. For destroying our environment is like destroying the very hand that feeds us. Denying the facts is like putting one's head into the sand. Out of sight, out of mind, yet the facts remain. If we go on like this, future generations will have tremendous difficulties just to survive the mess we leave behind for them. Even the few very rich will find it difficult. I don't have the intention to scare anybody. I find it already very scary in itself as it is. This all has to stop, and we all know that it has to stop. So we all have to come together and stop it. We all have to voice our thoughts, our humane thoughts, and say enough is enough, and stop it. Like the Arabian Spring and all those other worldwide demonstrations had in mind, enough is enough. It can't go on like this. But it went on like this. The Arabian Spring is over. A corrupt political system is again in place, imprisoning reporters for simply telling the world what they see. In some countries, it's a crime to tell how it is. It might be even a crime to tell you that. To tell you that it is animalistic, that it is madness, what's going on, that it is a monkey circus. It's not humane. It's irresponsible what's going on, because what is going on by itself, mechanically, biomechanically. The nature's brain is running the show. Because we all think that we can't do anything, which allowed politicians and priests of any side and dogma to take the opportunity to take the helm, pretending to know what to do, promising a lot. World teachers like J. Krishnamurti all point out that the root problem of all this is our relationship to our mind. The problem starts within each one of us, which also means that each one of us has to participate in the shaping of humanity. That's why I want to start a global movement to inform or educate each one of us of how to use one's mind. It sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? But it doesn't mean that I want to tell everyone what to think. It's not about what to think, but how. The difference is between an authentic speaker and a mechanical repeater. If you read psychologist Professor Robert Ornstein's book, The Evolution of Consciousness, you may come to share his view that there is actually no one telling anyone what to do. There's only the brain with an enormous amount of synapses that seem to do it all. Here we wonder and ponder about the free will. Does it exist? What about Descartes' I think, therefore I am? Even that question is made up by the brain. And as the brain belongs to Mother Nature, it is the unconscious nature of Mother Nature that does it all. What does it do? Like sunlight, it expands and experiments in all directions, finding out more and more about the best options to maintain and sustain life itself. So does the brain in everybody. So in a way, I could say that as long as you don't take charge, as long Mother Nature does it all for you, thinking included, and as long everything runs to the instinctual nature of Mother Nature, all our societies, all our civilizations are ruled by the laws of nature, instinctual laws. And those laws include competition amongst us, which exists for nature to find out how to survive the best, how to maintain life itself the best. That's why we fight against each other. And that is why the idea followed that we have to go beyond the shackles of nature in order to become conscious human beings. Mythological stories tell the story about that fight, like Apollo's fight with the monstrous Python. It's called a fight between consciousness and instincts, or a struggle between consciousness and instincts. Yet in my astrological view, it's not a struggle nor a fight. It's not even a transformation. It's rather a transcendence. Aristotle called it entelechy, the condition in which a potentiality has become actuality. I like to demonstrate to you that it is actually possible to achieve what recently many demonstrators all over the globe expressed in a negative way by saying enough is enough, it can't go on like this anymore. We all want something better than this. But the global quest is to find some clues of how to do it. No one knows it yet. If we all don't want the Arabian Spring and all other gatherings of disillusioned people to fail, we do need a positive outlook. We do need a vision of a global human civilization. This has been lacking so far. You know, all these words, all you need is love, make love, not war, imagine, the Christ consciousness, Buddha awareness, all are just words. Words don't do anything. They don't have any might, they don't have any power. Knowledge has to transcend into consciousness. This is a scientific as well as a religious approach of astrology. Astrology is not just about future predictions. To know when the sun goes up tomorrow morning is not much of an art these days. To understand the patterns of life, to know about the periodic reoccurrence of movements is a byproduct of the scientific approach of astrology. And because astrologers have to make money too, have to make a living too, they use that byproduct to impress people that need or want to know the future for whatever reason. The religious approach of astrology goes beyond the psychological approach, which is used much more often these days thanks to astrologers like Liz Green, who herself is a student of Sigurd Jung, the co-founder of modern psychology and an astrologer himself. The psychological approach has done a lot for the renewed interest in astrology, for it has helped many to get an understanding of the inner mechanism at work. Thus they may have found a way to fit in and work with it. It just seems to me that it is not enough to fit in, for Jesus or Moses also did not fit in their time. The religious approach is the understanding of what it means to be humane. More than 40 years ago, when I started to practice astrology, I had an insight in the structure of astrology, into the religious or philosophical structure of astrology. It has taught me since then a deep understanding of humanity. Meeting few of those called enlightened masters and reading the books of others has confirmed that understanding. So much so that I often think that all those enlightened masters, or whatever they're called, must have been astrologers. But many scientists of all subjects have confirmed it too. The beauty of this kind of astrology is that it can be taught in any kind of language, of any kind of culture. That it is absolutely unbiased, not judgmental, not dogmatic, not rule-ridden. It has nothing to do with my personal opinion. I just give my voice to its own structure. It is a cosmic language with a view of cosmic unity that, when used and practiced, leads to the natural evolvement of a loving consciousness. And to me, that is the base of humanity. Very often I was wondering, what can I, a single person, a single individual, do about the global predicament? The problems seem to be so multidimensional, so big, so huge. It seems to be impossible that one person, that I alone, can do something about this global situation. But then again, Jesus was alone, Moses was alone, Muhammad was alone, Buddha was alone. They are all my friends, so actually I'm not alone. And very big movements start with one step that one does. So here I am, introducing the opening of an astrology school that has the essential aim to inform and educate each human body on this globe that the gestalt of humanity is not utopia. It can be done right now. I thus summon all humans to stand up and speak up and come together to form a global movement. Write to me, send me your name and address. Let us become so big in numbers globally, in every nation, that very soon our voice of humanity will be actualized politically, economically, and religiously. Enough is enough. The best thing that can happen for the healthy survival of this beautiful globe is the establishment of humanity. That's the idea to yearn for. Finally, what will you learn in this new school? There are so many already. First of all, you will learn what I believe to be the ancient wisdom of the four elements. The study of the planets will be divided into four sections. First, we will look at the three unconscious planets of the soul, the basic pattern makers. Secondly, we will look at the subconscious planets of the mind. Thirdly, at the organizing forces of the body. And the fourth section will be about the transformative and transcendental energies of the spirit, in contrast to the fixed functions of a society. Learning to see the relationship between each energy expression, you learn to see an intergalactic togetherness, and thus become an overview of how all is related into one original being, represented by the primary thoughts, the element of water, also called the cosmic ocean. The study of the astrological coordinate system is in itself very simple and can be learned and practiced from early age on. It thus could be taught in every school on Earth. If that could be the case, it will foster in every mind on Earth an understanding of unity without threatening each unique identity to become a dull or grey parrot of a particular dogma. Astrology teaches everyone to be unique as well as free, and to be an authentic speaker and not just a mechanical repeater. But the main teaching is to understand that we all can come together despite our unique differences. For from the astrological human point of view, the saying that we are all one becomes a living reality.